I totally didn't mean to stop recording that, and yet I pushed the button by accident because the screen went blank because it was at 15 minutes, and 15 minutes is a long time to commit yourself to something if you don't know what the value of it is. And so I start this message instead with the introduction to all that has just come in the 15-minute period where I was recording and channeling frequencies of a higher elevation, because that's where I've started to live now that I've realized I am a holy being. I am not just the literal that I see, but I am also the symbolic, mythic, and energetic being that is contained within this physical vessel. The one that my soul chose to transport me around this world in. And sometimes I look very pretty and cute, and other times I just go for comfort. Canadian roots. Be home. Coming home to ourselves. Recognize that our soul throne sits within our heart, within the Akashic Records. It's the library we enter into where we have access to every choice that we have ever made and that everybody has ever made throughout all time, which is not linear as we think, but actually it is vertical. It is all about all happening now. It is multidimensional. There are 10 dimensions. All of them are happening right now. It's collapsed time into the now moment, which is the only moment that we ever get. So many people look at reality and say, oh my God, it's the realistic evidence appearing legit and tomorrow's yesterday. That means it's all happening now. And so if now is the only moment that I get, what am I going to do with mine? How am I going to align the light to come into my chakra center in order to flow down and through into the earth? Because I am an antenna for the earth. I am the antenna that is able to transmute positivity or negativity and then ground it into the mother that carries us all. Mother Earth is Mother Gaia. Planet Earth is how we connect with each other. By looking after her, we look after ourselves and each other in the process. And that's what it is about. It is about no longer destroying ourselves for the sake of bringing ourselves up at the expense of someone else, but instead it is about bringing us up with the intention of raising all, because a rising tide lifts all boats. There is no competition. There is no necessity for fear. It is just you and me. It is us that need to connect in order to know we are in constant development. We are a work in progress. Life is a practice. And if we don't have a special practice, we don't have the tools and systems in place to support us through the valley of transformation that every hero must walk through in order to become the one they were waiting for. That is what we are all doing right now. And it's your opportunity to say, yes, I want more of this kind of information, because this information is fast flowing. Not because it needs to, because anything that is a need, I need to do it yesterday, that time-bound necessity is usually egoic. The edging got out, the earth guide only. The ego says, yesterday, today is too late. No, it's not. Now is the perfect time. There is an old proverb that says the best time to have planted an oak tree was 25 years ago. The second best time to plant the oak tree? Right now. If you didn't do it yet, you didn't do it yet, so what? You did something else, and that made you who you are now, showing up now, ready to listen to this message and interpret what it means to and for you. Because it's not about what I say. Don't watch this message and think like, holy shit, Laura, you've come so far, good for you. It's not about me, I'm just the messenger. This is the message, and what it means to you that is the point of this message. How are you going to use this? What are you going to do with it? How are you going to change your life in order to change the world that we live in? How are you going to be the change that you seek in the world, as I am trying to do with this? Trying is failing with honor, and if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I think that I'm not trying now. I feel like I'm just flowing. I'm doing it as it comes. I'm not doing the prep work to make myself look perfect for you to receive a message and look at me and say, oh my God, wow, look at you, Laura. Don't look at me, look at you. I am a mirror. Whatever you like in me are things that you like in you. Whatever you don't like in me, the fact that I am confident and that I do say, yeah, I'm beautiful and I am smart and I have a lot of compassion and I have a lot of heart and I want to help a lot of people. I am so brimming with passion. I feel that. I live with that. The excitement, the bubbles in my throat is true. I love making people excited. I love uplifting people. I love making people feel better and knowing that they are enough. I love helping you come home to yourself is what I live for. The process I've been in this process for years. I lived in England and I learned a lot, and I came home and I ran. I ran from myself, thinking I was running to myself. I was writing a book and running from it all at the same time. I played and worked at the same time, thinking I was only working, not realizing that life is all about the play. It doesn't have to feel like work to be working, to be paid for what we're doing. We can get paid, we can get remunerated for the value that we offer the world as long as we ask for it, because the universe will never give us what we're willing to settle for. The universe will only ever give us what we expect. And it's not about expectation from a point of entitlement, which is a problem for modern society. Too many people think that they're entitled to greatness. They are entitled to more. They are entitled to something that someone else has. They're entitled to their inheritance. No, you're not. No, I'm not. We're not entitled to anything outside of ourselves and living our best. All of our choices make our life. These are the things we have to remember. And instead of trying to break others down, we have to bring them up. It is time to break through instead of break down. And it is time to realize there is an epidemic of spiritual crisis happening, and it is being labeled depression. It is labeled the black dog that is on your face and your head and your heart, and it's so heavy and it's so big and it's so scary because nobody talks about it. Well, it's time to talk about emotions. It's time to raise our consciousness to a higher level and be able to say, you know what, I'm not perfect. I never wanted to be. I am perfectly imperfect, and I am perfectly happy with that. I am perfectly good with knowing that I am in the process of becoming all that I am meant to be, and that it's okay for me to have not got there yet, because like the butterfly that needs to get out of the cocoon, getting out of that cocoon gave the butterfly strength to put the fluid into its wings instead of the body. Yeah, it's that powerful. It's that powerful. You are that powerful. If you like this, check out the 15-minute video that's about to come out shortly, and I will look forward to continuing this conversation, but I need to hear from you. I want to know what you're facing. I want to know what this means to you. I want to know what it means for you. I want to know what questions it brings up in you. I want to know so I know how I can do my next message, because you inspire me. Your presence in my life, in my feed, in the comments, blesses me, even if it's not a nice one. And if it's not a nice one, know that that's a reflection more on you than me. And I'm okay with that. You just need to be too. And then don't be resentful for not wanting to be able to post that comment and bully me into submission, trying to make yourself feel better because you put me down. Because I'm not going to take it personally, because I know it's not about me. I know that I'm just a mirror, and you either like me or you don't like me, because you either like yourself or you don't like yourself. And I hold up a pretty clear mirror. I'm not perfectly clear. I have my imperfections. I have a lot of them. But not as many as I used to, because I don't judge them so hard. I move out of them faster. Instead of it being here and like in Gestalt therapy where it's like it comes around and then all of a sudden the problem's right back and you're playing in the mud with it every time. It doesn't take very long to get around that circumference. But then instead of playing in the mud, if instead you say, oh my God, okay, I've entered the pit, and instead of getting myself completely caked with mud, I'm just going to say, no, I choose this instead, and push it out a little further. And then it takes longer for it to come back. And each time we push it further and further away, we can see more of it for what it actually is, and we don't have to get so dirty so fast. Push what is not enough, those stories of not enoughness. Touch them and go. Hear yourself. I hear this old story, this old pattern that is no longer serving me, and I choose to touch it and go. I release it, and I release myself, and I redirect myself onto this story because it makes me feel better. It makes me feel better, and that is what is going to completely change everything, just to go for a better feeling. It sounds so simple. But life is simple if we only let it be. Let life be simple. And then everything will work out. I promise. I've seen it. I've forced. I've tried. I've pushed so hard. Believe me, I have tried to try for a long time. And what I learned is that when I stopped trying, when I stopped clenching the water to try to grasp it and control it, when I stopped and I just opened my palm and kept my fingers together and just said, hey, that's beautiful water. Oh my God, look how much I'm containing. I'm overflowing now. There's so much I can have because I'm not squeezing it and pushing it through my fingers and out of my grasp. Your breath will take you home. Don't contract and squeeze your breath and think that you can contain more when you do. Breathe all the way to the base of your lungs and expand. Expand your lungs. Let yourself grow big, and be bold enough to know how fabulous you are without trying to cut it short for someone else to feel better about themselves because you played less than and didn't push their buttons too bad. Be willing to push people's buttons and don't take it personally when they react. If you take it personally, that's about you. But if you just simply hold a confused looking mirror up to the person that is going off on you about your not enoughness, that's okay. That's about them still. Because you're just reading the situation and learning what it means to and for you. And if you can consciously participate in the creative process, instead of saying, oh my God, this must mean like this to me too, because that's what they say it should mean to me. Oh my God, I'm going to be a good little person and listen to the propaganda. We don't need to do that anymore, guys. We don't need to do that because there's enough of us that see things for what they are. There are enough of us that see things for what they are. The literal, symbolic, mythic, and energetic. We see it and we can teach on it. You just have to connect with people that want to see it for more than what it looks to be. And if that's you, connect with me, subscribe to this channel, and also be sure to share this channel, this message with others that need to hear this, because I think it's time for us all to wake up. I feel like the rabbit keeper in Alice in Wonderland running through the corridor saying, it's time for us to go, it's time for us to root ourselves into ourselves. It is time for us to say my BS is what I choose, based on how it makes me the best version of me to go into the world and contribute for the greatest and highest good of all. Act with yourself at heart and the best interest of all in mind. And when you do that, you can speak a truth that balances judgment and mercy and heals the world. We only heal the world by healing ourselves first and aligning ourselves with other truth tellers. So if this resonates, comment below. I would love to hear from you. Know how much you matter, even if just only to say amen. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you, or whatever it is that speaks to you, reflects you, and that respects who you authentically are as a divinely creative being. I have so much love for you. Laura J. Namaste.